Cyborg, 1989, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie review, a retro sci-fi action classic. Plot: Cyborg, 1989, directed by Albert Pien, is one of Jean-Claude Van Damme's iconic films from his late 80s, early 90s action phase, coming in the wake of Bloodsport and other martial arts hits. This sci-fi action flick takes place in a dystopian future where society has collapsed after a global catastrophe. The film follows Gibson Rickenbacker, Van Damme, a former soldier turned mercenary, who is tasked with protecting a cyborg woman named Pearl Prophet, Dale Haddon. Pearl carries the secret to saving humanity, a data file that could help cure a deadly plague. The plot revolves around Rickenbacker trying to survive amidst ruthless pirates and mercenaries who are determined to capture Pearl and exploit the data she holds. The film blends action, sci-fi, and dystopian elements as Van Damme's character embarks on a mission to protect the only hope for humanity's future. Along the way, he faces intense combat and confrontations with a gang led by a sinister villain known as Fender Tremolo, Vincent Klin, a sadistic leader with a fascination for destruction. Characters. At the heart of Cyborg is Van Damme's portrayal of Gibson Rickenbacker, a stoic, brooding anti-hero who is both tough and vulnerable. As a man hardened by past trauma, Rickenbacker is driven by a sense of duty and a desire to protect, but his emotional journey throughout the film is shaped by his tragic past. He's the classic loner hero archetype, often seen in action films of the time. Pearl Prophet, played by Dale Haddon, serves as the catalyst for Rickenbacker's journey. As a cyborg, Pearl represents both humanity and the hope for a future, but she also stands as a symbol of the fusion between man and machine, an ongoing theme throughout the film. While not the primary character, Pearl's role is integral to the film's plot and its reflection on technology's impact on society. On the villain side, Fender Tremolo, portrayed by Vincent Klin, is a memorable antagonist who brings chaos and destruction to the film. His character is your classic over-the-top action movie villain, driven by greed and a thirst for power, but Klein's performance adds a certain intensity that makes him a compelling presence throughout the movie. Themes. One of the central themes of Cyborg is the exploration of post-apocalyptic survival and the blurry lines between humanity and technology. The film's setting in a dystopian world where society has collapsed reflects fears of a world on the brink of collapse, which was common in many sci-fi films from the 1980s. Technology plays a significant role in Cyborg, with the cyborg character Pearl Prophet representing the potential for both salvation and destruction. The film touches on themes of human dependence on technology, the ethics of creating lifelike machines, and the possible consequences of technological advancements on society. This makes the cyborg more than just a plot device. It's a reflection of the changing relationship between humanity and the machines it creates. Comparison to other movies. When comparing Cyborg to other films of the era, it shares similarities with both Van Damme's own body of work and broader 80s sci-fi action films. Like Bloodsport, Cyborg showcases Van Damme's martial arts skills, but here, those abilities are set against a more fantastical, futuristic backdrop. The film's martial arts scenes, though intense, have a more stylized, action-driven quality compared to his previous work, especially considering the dystopian setting. In terms of genre, Cyborg has elements in common with other post-apocalyptic movies from the time, like Mad Max and The Terminator. The desolate world, the lone anti-hero, and the looming presence of a mechanical villain are all trademarks of films from the same period. If you've seen Mad Max, 1979, or The Terminator, 1984, you'll find familiar themes of survival in a harsh, machine-dominated world. However, Cyborg leans more into the action genre, and while not as deep or complex as The Terminator, it brings its own unique flair with the cybernetic elements. Jean-Claude Van Damme's early career. At the time of Cyborg, Van Damme had already made a name for himself with films like Bloodsport and Kickboxer, 1989. While he wasn't yet the massive global star he would become in the 1990s, Cyborg helped solidify his place in the action genre. He's great at playing the tough, silent hero, and this film is no exception. Although not one of his more widely acclaimed films, Cyborg contributed to his early career momentum, giving him the chance to hone his action star persona. Similar films. If you're a fan of Cyborg, you'll likely enjoy other post-apocalyptic action films from the same era. As mentioned, Mad Max and The Terminator are good comparisons, but also films like Steel Dawn, 1987, starring Patrick Swayze, and The Running Man, 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, are in a similar vein. Dystopian futures, lone heroes, and technology playing a major role in shaping the narrative. In addition to that, if you enjoy Van Damme's style, you should check out Universal Soldier, 1992, which takes a similar approach with cyborgs, but in a more military setting. That film further explores the fusion of man and machine in a way that builds on Cyborg's themes, but adds a more polished Hollywood edge. While Cyborg may not be as widely praised as some of Van Damme's other work, it remains an entertaining and important part of his early career, providing a mix of martial arts, action, and sci-fi with an engaging story of survival in a crumbling world. It's a great film for fans of post-apocalyptic action films and anyone who loves the 80s-90s action genre.